right.
You guys have any questions? No.
Paul?
They're going to just rely on
Voice of the people here, Paul. You're the only one here right now.
You know you're getting a one-on-one.
try to win, Coach.
That was great. Easy.
What? How much is this scripted? Will there be any kind of freelance periods? How's
Yeah,
the thing work?
there's multiple scripted periods, some base downs, some third downs, some kind of first, second, third. We'll have a 2-minute period, which will be unscripted, and then we'll have at the end of practice, just a move the ball, call it as you play it. So we'll have a full scrimmage-ish where it's just straight call it from. We'll get spotted by the officials and call plays and all that stuff. So some mostly scripted and a little bit off script.
Is it conceivable then that in totality Cam will see kind of less freelance to defense than he's seen in practices with you?
Hard to say. I mean, I don't know what they're going to call. It's scripted in the sense that they know what personnel we're putting on the field, but other than that, we don't know what they're going to do. We watch some of their tape, and what Coach Bowles does from a schematic standpoint, but still have no idea what it's going to look like. So it's good for us. It'll be exciting.
Were there priorities for you in terms of the ground rules, what you wanted to do or didn't want to do in this?
These are all pretty standard in the sense that you're going to get most situational work. You get some base down, some third down, some red zone, a 2-minute drill. They had a template that they'd used previously, and then we kind of went back and forth on some period emphasis. But it was pretty easy. They've been really easy to work with, and everything's been pretty straightforward.
Are there guys on the other sideline that you're most familiar with that you know over the years, coaching your players?
I know Coach Carberry pretty well. Known him for a while. I've known Todd for quite a bit too, just over the years. But some guys I know familiar with a little bit, but not a ton. And some players I know here and there, but not a deep roster of guys I've been around. Yeah.
Brian, it sounded like Cam had a rough practice a couple days ago. Maybe
Sure.
threw a little bit more at him. Was that sort of in preparation for today? And how do you think he rebounded from that in the next practice?
Rebounded well the next practice. A lot of what we've done in training camp early is to make it hard on him purposefully in general, not necessarily facing the Bucks or not kind of
I'm thinking more
not mutually exclusive. But the good thing about Denard is that Denard worked for Todd, so there's a lot of similarities. So we see a lot of pressure, a lot of really hard looks, and I know we'll get some today too, which will be good. I'm excited about it.
What's your punt return thinking for the game?
A couple guys are going to get some work. I think all of them, we'll try to get all the guys that we think are going to have a chance to be our returner, a shot to return in the preseason. It may not all be in the same game, but over the course of 3 games and the joint practices, we should get some, hopefully some more clarity on what that looks like and some real actual work, live work. It's hard to simulate it for the punt returner. So I think all those guys in the mix are going to get some opportunities.
That may be the area where you get the most information because you've got the least out of practice there.
Yes, special teams in general, and for the preseason games for sure, is where you get most of your real tells on if these guys can do it in live action. The practice is hard to simulate. A lot of times you're shortening fields and you're making drills condensed because of the running. But yeah, the preseason games are huge opportunities for guys to make an impression on special teams.
Is Quandre going to work here, given the short turnaround?
He will be out here. He's going to work in individual. We're sort of ramping him back into it. I don't think he's going to do much teamwork in this particular practice, with the goal that maybe as we get to Atlanta, he'll have a chance to get a little bit more action in. But trying to make sure we're smart with him, given his age and his injury history, that we're just ramping him back into practice.
Any vets who aren't going to have to play Saturday, or are you going to expect everybody to play?
As of right now, we haven't finalized that. There might be 1 or 2 vets that don't play, but for the most part, we're gonna play.
Missing another one of these next week in Atlanta. 2 different styles here. I guess what you're seeing now, what you're seeing next week, and how will that help you?
The more styles you can see, the better. There's some carryover to some teams we're going to face. The Bucks, obviously, with Todd's defense and the pressure and the exotic looks and all those things are something that we're going to need. We're going to see that from some coordinators early in the season, and then with Raheem and Coach Olbrich down there in Atlanta, they got the style of defense we're going to see from the Rams and a couple other teams, Houston, some crossovers there. So really good to get some looks at some different schemes that we're going to see probably in the first month of the season.
What are your impressions of this Bucks team?
Talented team. There's some, especially on the trenches, the offensive and defensive line got some good players. It's a good test for us. The schemes are really, really solid. Obviously, the defensive scheme is aggressive. It's exotic in nature. and I know they've talked about some things that hopefully we see a little bit of in terms of some press coverage and man coverage and things they're trying to maybe do a little bit more of. And then I think the offensive scheme and offensive talent is as good as anybody's in football. So we got a good test today. It's a good football team. I mean, you don't win 10 games on accident in this league, and they've managed to be really competitive for a lot of years now. So they do a really good job.
Sorry if I missed this
Do
earlier.
a couple more.
How do you handle practice as far as what you keep your eyes on, offense, defense?
I'll be moving around between both fields today. I'll let Nick take the offensive stuff for a majority of it. I'll probably end up jumping over and calling one of the 2-minute periods, but I'll let Nick do that so I can watch both sides and be present with the special teams and all that stuff. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot going on, a lot of action, 2 fields rolling. It'll be fun.
Are there any broad coaching points, in lack of a better term, that you've given Cam in advance of today?
No, this is for us without really a game plan. It's not a game week. It's sort of apply your rules. What you've learned and how you've gone about it from this off-season process through the first part of the preseason, and you just sort of react to what you see and play within the rules of the system. And there's only so many things you can do in football, but it's good for him to be able to go out and just try to execute what we're asking him to execute and worry about what we're doing, not necessarily about what they're doing. Good competition, but his focus should be on executing the offense the way that we want him to.
Legarius and Cush here.
They're here, yeah, for sure. They'll probably work a little bit on the side. And again, I think those guys will be more in the conversation next week, see where they're at, and maybe, hopefully, maybe start some of that process back. But we'll see. But they'll both be here.
Anybody out today?
Out today, most of the same guys as yesterday. Nothing dramatic in that sense. Hance will be out. He'll work on the side. Carlos Watkins will be out. Sweat will be out, and Winston will be out. And then, just like I said, Diggs will be in a return to play. He'll be out there, individual things like that, but you won't see him in the actual team
Still
period.
Just management with Winston.
Yeah, just being smart. I mean, he's coming off that ACL, and especially after 5 days out of 6 on working, some soreness, and you just got to be really mindful of those things. You don't want to end up doing any more than necessary. And again, he's still coming off a pretty significant injury, so we got to be smart and manage it.
Does he maybe have a hamstring?
Last 2 right
in addition to the or it's not the knee, it's a hamstring?
It's anything on the lower leg, muscle related, is always something you're very careful of with those ACLs, just because of the strength of the muscles around it. So there's certainly things that we're monitoring and keeping track of, but nothing new to report as far as actual injury.
Last one,
You
Jim.
had Jelly roll out yesterday. He
Yeah.
went from the past year to go from an old lineman to a tight end. And, just can you talk about his transformation? Maybe what
I do love Jelly. He's an awesome ambassador for our organization and our team. He loves these players. He loves the football team. To see his journey going from whatever he was down 200 pounds is pretty remarkable. I think he's one of the. I've never seen anybody lose that much weight that quickly. He's on top of it. So happy for him. He looks great. He's got a ton of energy, and he gave a heck of a speech the other day for us. I think most people saw it, and love having him around. He's an awesome human being.
Adversity throughout the day, but that's going to come with the game of football. We responded well both sides of the ball. Defense had a good day. We had a good day on offense. So I'm glad, we got some good work versus a good team.
As an offense, how much better did you feel like got after that initial kind of feeling things out?
Real better. We way better just in terminology, just in communicating with each other up front in the receiver room, them seeing what I see on the field. And I just think the more reps that we get, which we're getting now, the better it's going to become game time as we get into the season.
How good was it to be able to face a defense that doesn't know what you're doing? Like Cody Barton, he had the interception, he knew where the ball was going. You're not facing a team that did that today.
I think it's real good. This is one of the best defenses out there in the league. So they gave us some good work. They stopped us a couple of times. We had some explosives on them. So I think both groups today got better.
Tyler talked about the plan being trying to take what they give you. They're a typical team to figure out shots against. How much do you feel like you stuck to that, more successful with that?
I think as a whole, 1s, 2s, and 3s, we stuck to that the whole day. Just taking what they give us. BA, Tim making plays when they're in. And then me just sticking to the game plan, trying to stay above the chains, not trying to do too much unless I have to, and then just put the ball in the receiver's hands, let them make plays.
Is it frustrating ever to not be able to take one, or you just kind of know?
It's not really frustrating because at the end of the day, it's going to happen. It's just about when it happens. You can't force it. You just got to let it come to you.
How many of those guys?
So it started clicking for you in the red zone. It seems like you're getting more short yard situations.
Oh yeah, it is starting to click, and it's really just coming with more reps that I get, seeing different looks, and knowing where the ball needs to go versus certain look. And then I also got, a good receiving core with Red, Van, and Lockett, even the backups and Chim. They help me out a lot just watching film with me, letting them know what I see on the field and where I need them to get to. So I'm excited to where we're gonna go, and I'm just ready to keep building this relationship we got.
How many guys on that team do you know, and what are they saying during and maybe after?
Talking about the Bucks.
Right.
I knew a couple. I knew of a couple. I never met them in person till now. Got a chance to chop it up with Tez, one of the receivers. But I mean, that's a good group right there. The Bucks. They're a playoff team. We trying to get to a playoff team this year. Hopefully, if the time comes to it, we get a chance to play them in a real game this year.
Have they told you how many series you might play on Saturday?
No, I'm listening to Coach Callahan. I'm ready to play the whole time if I need to. But this is also a big evaluation, not only for myself but for the whole team. I'm ready to make plays when my number's called.
How excited are you for that opportunity to get out there for the first time, like the real stuff?
I'm real excited to just be on the grass again, to just really put everything that I worked for out there, and just try to lead my teammates and try to get a win out there.
How are things coming along for you as far as that process of finding out what you can and can't get away with and just getting used to the timing?
It's coming along fast. And then especially me with Coach Callahan one-on-one, him letting me know what I can get away with, then also what I can't get away with, and more of it's just the time you get away with it, whether it's third down, whether you're flush out the pocket, you have to make a play. I think that's the biggest adjustment that I'm focused on right now is just really trying to stay above the sticks.
Did you have any learning moments from today, like where you found out, hey, I can do this?
Yeah, I would say just not necessarily the windows, but you have to throw guys open in certain route concepts if it's not the perfect look. But the receivers did a hell of a job today, from starters to backups. Those boys, they came out here in this weather and they competed. They had a good one-on-ones. They carried it to 7-on-7 in team, so I'm proud of the receivers and how they helped us.
How'd you rate the one-on-ones overall? Seemed like there were some balls on the ground.
Yeah, we had a couple balls on the ground. By myself, I had a bad ball where the receiver wasn't able to catch it all the way, where the DB made a good play. But both sides, we were competing all day. And just from a physicality standpoint, that's who we want to be. I think the receivers really brought that today.
No X, obviously.
What happened from your vantage point on the pick, and just kind of what did the coaches say to you, or what did you say to the huddle afterwards to respond and go back and do another 2 minutes after that?
It just got to respond. I tried to throw it around him. I didn't throw it far enough inside for Chi to get it. And then you got to be able to respond. Hold up the guys. And you say, next play. I'm going to have a pick in a real game. Nobody trips. It's all about how you respond for the next drive. You just got to keep playing football.
Obviously, no X. What have you learned about Ellick and, I guess, Chim during the course of camp and even today?
I just think those two guys, not only are they fast for the size and how to get out of routes, Chim and Elliott, but they very two physical receivers. So especially Chim from the slot, you got to be a physical player to win whenever you're matching on a nickel or a linebacker. And then Elliott, I think just him being behind Red right now is really helping him with his routes. He's gotten better since OTAs when I first got a chance to throw to him. Those two guys, they're going to come up big for us this year, and I'm happy that, I'm playing with them and not against them.
How do you think the chemistry is with them, with Lockett? Because it seems like you're in lockstep with Ridley. We know your pass with X. But those three receivers specifically, where are you at developing that chemistry, that timing with them?
I think we have a good time right now. I have an unbelievable relationship with those guys, especially off the field. Lockett, he sends me videos of stuff that he's like, how he's going to run his routes versus certain coverage and stuff. So I'm getting to know him a little bit more. And then I just think the younger guys, we're just ahead right now because we came in together. We've always been working out together. And Locke, he's been productive everywhere he's went. I mean, he's one of the most productive slots in football. And so he don't look like it, but that man's a dog. No. So I'm happy to have him on my team, and I know he's going to come up big for me this year.
You lean on him because of that veteran experience and all the stuff he's been through?
Yeah, for sure, especially just how he sees coverages. Him helping me out on what he sees from his alignment, because my alignment is really all about angles sometimes. How you have to throw the ball, you have to throw it away from defenders, and then just me getting reps with him on the non-timing routes, just seeing where he's going to end up and where I need to put the ball.
When you have a little skirmish like what happened today, do you know to get away? People told you can't get in the middle of anything like that?
They said it, but I'm hard-headed. So, it was good though. The defense they played their ass off today, and I'm happy. I get to play with those guys up there. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm glad we had one of those. Defense won that little thing right there, and so I'm happy that I got them on my team.
Did you have a target when you threw your aerial support in there?
Say that again.
Did you have a target when you threw your aerial support in
Yeah, I had a target. I was trying to hit one of them boys in red jerseys. So, I mean, it was good. That's what football comes to. We dapped it up right after practice. Ain't no big deal. But I mean, I'm excited. You know, the team know I got their back. They're gonna have mine. And, you know, might have another skirmish, but I know we're gonna be together.
What do you got to do this weekend to feel good about preseason game number 1?
I just think just playing our brand of football, physicality, running the ball good, throwing the ball good, then really just letting our players make plays. Me being a point guard, distributing the ball out there, then just really relying on the O-line and defensive line to set the game, set the tempo of the game, because at the end of the day, the trenches will always be what runs football.